Okay, so imagine a tree that was around when the dinosaurs were. I mean, one that literally survived the asteroid that wiped them out.
It's hard to even wrap your head around that time frame.
It is. And we're talking about Ginkgo biloba, the maidenhair tree. It's what they call a living fossil, the only thing left from an entire ancient order of plants. Some of these trees go back over 100 million years.
And that resilience is probably why it became so important in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries. They use it for all sorts of things, from circulation to memory.
Which is exactly what we're diving into today. Does the ancient wisdom hold up to modern science?
Right. What's actually happening in the body?
But first, I feel like we have to put up a big warning sign. This is powerful stuff we're talking about. It can change your body's chemistry.
A very necessary disclaimer.
So please, this is for education. Talk to your doctor before you try anything, especially if you're on any kind of medication.
Absolutely. We will get to the specific interactions later because they are critical. But first, let's talk about the mechanics. What's inside this plant that makes it work?
From what I saw, it really boils down to two main things, flavonoids and terpenoids.
Exactly. The simplest way to think about them is as like really powerful antioxidants. They're the body's cleanup crew.
So they're fighting off free radicals, the stuff that causes aging and cell damage.
Precisely. The biological rust, so to speak. But it does more than just clean. It actually changes the plumbing of your circulatory system.
Okay, I think I read about this. It helps relax blood vessels and boosts something called nitric oxide.
Yes, and that effect is not small. One study I saw showed a 12% increase in circulating nitric oxide in patients with heart disease.
12%? Wow.
Which directly leads to better dilation of those vessels.
So wider pipes. It's that simple. And if your pipes are wider, more blood, more oxygen, more nutrients can get to where they need to go.
And which organ needs the most oxygen?
The brain.
The brain. Which brings us to all the research on dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, we have to be clear, this is not a cure.
Right.
But some research, like a big review from 2016, suggests that when you use it with conventional medicine, it can really help increase functional capabilities in people with mild Alzheimer's.
And it's not just about memory, is it? I was really surprised by the studies on mood and anxiety. There was one about an extract reducing levels of S100B in older adults.
Which is a marker for brain injury. So lowering that is a pretty significant finding.
Yeah.
And it lines up with other research that shows it can help with symptoms of post-stroke depression.
Okay, but here's where I get a little confused. If the whole point is more blood flow, that sounds great for, say, a tension headache caused by tight vessels. But a migraine.
Ah, that is the perfect question.
Aren't migraines sometimes caused by blood vessels being too wide?
They often are, yeah. Excessive dilation. So if you take something that dilates them even more...
You're just making the problem worse. It could be a really bad time.
Exactly. Context is everything. But that boost in blood flow has benefits beyond the brain. Think about where else tiny blood vessels are crucial. The eyes, for example.
Oh, right. So research suggests it helps glaucoma patients.
It can by increasing that microcirculation. And it might help slow down macular degeneration for the same reason. It's also shown promise for respiratory issues.
How does it help with the lungs?
Well, that goes back to its anti-inflammatory properties. A study found that asthma and COPD patients taking ginkgo extract had fewer inflammatory compounds in their saliva.
That's incredible. Okay, and speaking of incredible, I found this one statistic that just blew me away. A study on PMS symptoms. In the group that took ginkgo, they saw a 23% reduction in symptoms. The placebo group.
Let me guess, much lower.
Only 8.8%.
That's a huge difference. Statistically, that's very significant.
It's massive. But this brings us full circle to the safety warnings. Because if something is powerful enough to do all this...
It's powerful enough to be dangerous if you're not careful. The blood thinning effect is no joke.
So if you're on warfarin, or even just taking aspirin or ibuprofen regularly,
you need to be extremely cautious. Mixing them can seriously increase the risk of bleeding. Same goes for SSRIs and other antidepressants. There can be interactions.
And I have to say this as clearly as I can. Do not go into a park and start eating ginkgo seeds.
A vital point. Please don't. The seeds are actually poisonous when raw. All the modern research is done on a standardized leaf extract, usually called EGB 761.
So you stick to the official extracts. And what about dosage?
Well, the studies tend to use a range, often somewhere between 40 and 120 milligrams, maybe 3 times a day. But again, that's a conversation for a doctor.
Right. So to sum this all up, we have a tree that outlived the dinosaurs, and it seems to help modern humans by fighting inflammation and boosting blood flow.
It's a pretty incredible link between ancient biology and our own health.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? This tree developed defenses to survive for 100 million years. When we take its extract, are we just borrowing its ancient survival skills to help our bodies deal with the stress of our own short lifetime?
That's a really fascinating way to put it.
Something to think about. Stay curious, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.